Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, I'm Courtney Ann. Okay, so sorry, my background is a mess right now, I'm realizing. Yeesh. Oh, you can still see that. But basically, I thought I would share a lot of different hobbies that I've been doing for a while, or that I tried this year in 2025, and then hobbies that I want to try in 2026. I know there's a lot of people that are looking for new hobbies, and I feel like I have some really good ones, and some really interesting, new ideas either for hobbies that I want to try in 2026. So I'm gonna do that at the end of the video, so because I feel like I can speak a lot more. I will say I want to go a little bit in depth on some of these, especially for reading. I'm a big reader, so I want to talk about comics, graphic novels, literally every single genre that you could read, because I just, oh my gosh, I have such a passion for reading and I love it so much. So I want to get into a lot of that, so I'm gonna go over literally a ton of different hobbies that I feel like are in a decent wide range. But then obviously, because I can't do everything, there's a lot of hobbies that I want to do in 2026 that I feel like are a little different, a little more interesting, that I can go into a little more detail on that. So I hope you guys stay along and I can show you guys all my little hobby ideas and hobbies I tried this year that I really want to share. Okay, so starting off with an interesting one that I don't think a lot of people really think about is archery. So in 7th grade, I read The Hunger Games for the first time, which was the book that got me into reading, and I was convinced that I was Katniss Everdeen. So I got a recurve bow. There's also compound bows, which are a little heavier. I had obviously been doing archery before that because I'm in Girl Scouts, and I've been in Girl Scouts for 10 years now, so a decade, which is amazing. I've made so many friends, so many great relationships. But that's not what this is about. So I knew archery before that, and I was able to do it and try it out. But we had worked with compound bows in there, and I was obviously young at the time. Those were a bit heavier for me. Those are going to work a bit better from friends' side, because I have friends that literally do, I mean, it's two friends, but they do competitive archery, and they know what they're talking about. I do not. But this is a this is a recurve bow. I just got this off Amazon, I think. My parents got it for me. You can literally just get this and some cheap arrows off Amazon and just go shoot in your backyard. They have little paper targets you can print out. So if you literally just take a cardboard box, print on a little target, you can do practice shooting with that. I know there's also places in certain areas that will allow you to go there and you can pay to do some archery. It's something that I would personally recommend. I really love it. I will say I like things that I can do a lot more in my home, so this was something that you do have to go outside to do it. So I'm not always consistent with archery, but I would definitely recommend this. I don't really have a rating for it or anything, but I do really enjoy archery. I would recommend it for people who want to try it. Obviously, it's something that I don't think is too hard to learn or get into. Obviously, you do need to develop a skill for it if you want to get better at it. I'm not even good at it, and I'm saying. But obviously, once again, it just depends on the type of bows you have. It's going to be a different experience. Arrows are some really bad arrows out there. Mine, they completely fall apart. They're awful, but I still love doing it. I think it's really fun, so I'd recommend it. Okay, I'm going to try to get the bigger ones, more, I guess, those ones out of the way before I move on to smaller things like pottery and journaling and oil pastels, stuff like that. Sketching, yada yada yada. Right? So next up is yoga. I did yoga a little bit before 2025. I started it only a month before, but I started doing it consistently in 2025, and I can tell you, I think it's actually really rewarding and it's much fun to do. It's also something that I don't feel is super high stress. It doesn't take a lot of energy out of you, because I feel I can get tired really easily, just me personally, and I know a lot of other people feel that same way. So this is something that I feel I can easily just turn some music on, and by the time I'm done with it, I don't feel as exhausted as I do. Obviously, I mean, you're meant to with a lot of things, but I feel it takes a really easy, it's very easily to exhaust me. And this is something that I don't feel is super draining for me, and that I really do enjoy. It's also nice, I can just do it simply from my home. I just literally roll out my yoga mat on my ground. I mean, if you don't want to use a yoga mat, you don't have to. I mean, you can easily just there's stuff that poses that you can do in your bed. It's amazing. But I do really love doing yoga. It's something that once again I feel it's super rewarding. I just turn on my little playlist and I do my little stretches. There's also so many different types of stretches for different things, so it's really nice. There's just such a variety of things to try, and you can always discover something new or learn new things with it. You don't have to just stick doing the same thing. Okay, another one that I love that I've been doing for quite a while is balance boarding. If you don't know what that is, it's literally what the name says. This is actually used, I've seen a lot, as conditioning or practice if you're really into skateboarding or surfing. This is really good thing to try to work on your balance. But I'm pretty sure it's also good for many other things. I haven't really researched that much, and I think my dad got his balance board when I was maybe 12, 13 or something. So I've been, you know, working with his for a while now, and I'm actually incredible at it. Like, that is, I won't say I'm good at a lot of things. Like, there are a lot of things where, like, you know, like, I admit I suck at them, okay? Like, I mean, I love doing them, but like, I am in no way talented with them. Balance boarding is the one thing I will give myself that I do feel like I generally do have quite a talent for. Like, I can literally do it on my tippy toes. I can like jump on the balance board while balancing. I'm like, that's one thing. And I will say, you do have to, like, you know, build up that, because I've fallen off the balance board tons of times. But the one that we have, I'm pretty sure there's other ones. I've seen ones where like it's an exercise ball and they have like the mat on top of it. The one that we have that I would recommend is basically like this like kind of rolling pin, and then there's a board on top of it. And I think when you're first starting out, something I would recommend is like putting it in front of the couch. Like, we have ours in front of the couch. You can hold onto the couch to get on. Over time, obviously, you want to learn to like just shift your balance. Best thing, like, once again, do not look down. Literally, like, I just dance and enjoy, like, I'm with the vibes on there. I could be on there for hours. I love it so much. I don't know, I think it's something that, like, it doesn't take, once again, it doesn't take a lot out of me. It's something I can easily do, like, every day. Like, I'll just be having conversations with people and I'm like on the balance board. Like, it just gives me something to like do and like, you know, just get my mind off things. I think it's really fun. I get to listen to music and like dance around on there. Like, I love balance boarding so much. I would recommend that to absolutely everyone. Obviously, it takes some time to get used to, and you have to, like, sometimes, it obviously depends on the person, but you can build up a little bit of a skill on it and, like, make sure that you're comfortable where you are, right? So, like, I have tons of friends who will come over and, like, they'll try it, and, like, they're shaking, holding onto the couch. Like, generally, like, once, like, you learn it, I think it's so much fun, and I would recommend, like, you know, just literally learn to shift your balance. That's all it is, like, you know, just literally shifting your feet, like, like, just think about, like, where you're putting your balance. Like, I mean, don't focus on it too much, because generally, like, I'm not even thinking about it when I'm doing it. I'm just going with the flow, but I think it's so much fun. It's like one of my favorite hobbies ever, and I really want to grow with it. I'm still trying to figure out ways of how. Okay, I want to move on to the physical thing, so I can like kind of like have something to show you guys. So, like, you know, I influence a little more is obviously the dad's balance board is in the living room, and I'm not going to drag that whole thing over here. But two more that, like, obviously I can't show you because they're just like physical things are I started doing a lot more dancing this year. Nothing professional, nothing like super, you know, just literally while I'm baking, I'll dance in the kitchen. When I have some free time, I'll put some socks on and I'll do my old ballet moves. I am in no way good at it. Let me like point this out. I think that is generally like so healing and so freeing. It's something that's really fun to do that like anyone can do once, and I'm in no way good at it, and I love it so much. You get to play your favorite music and just like dance around the living room. I don't know if it really counts as a hobby. Sometimes I will say I think that this counts if you do it in this way, like Just Dance. That is honestly a workout. Like, you do it like Just Dance for an hour, and I'm done. But to be fair, anyone is. I mean, I'll even have my friends do like 3 Just Dances from me, and I'm like, guys, come on, like, we have to do another one, and they're done. Like, so I have one friend who, like, I remember we were at my friend's birthday this summer, and 2 of them were done, and she was like, okay, I'll do it if you do it. I was like, yes. So yeah, I love Just Dance, but like, I don't know, just dancing in general I think is something that like generally like, boosts so much serotonin in you and is so good for you. I would like absolutely recommend that. And then this year I don't do calisthenics, but I started doing kind of like calisthenics conditioning, like a lot like the very, very beginner, very easy, just to try to build up that strength. And so far I've really enjoyed it. I feel like, I mean, once again, I like that you can start really easy to build your way up, and I think that it looks so interesting and so fun, and also like would be really helpful and great to learn how to lift your own body weight versus lifting, you know, weights. And once again, that's great, you know, that's absolutely healthy to learn to lift weights, but like learning to lift your own body weight I think is like so appealing to me personally, and I would think it would be to a lot of other people, so I definitely would recommend starting that. But that's just a hobby that I really enjoy. Okay, but now moving on to more of like the crafty physical hobbies. So literally crafting. I don't know if I have anything like specific for this, but you can literally just look up so many easy crafts online. I literally just made this. I have like tons of like leftovers from this. You can just find different seashells, little pearls. We had like these leftover beads from an old bracelet project, and I just bedazzled this little like bamboo hairbrush. I also want to get like a matching compact mirror so I can have that same like mermaid vibe on there. But I absolutely love crafting. I also did, it has sweaters in it right now, but it's meant to be like a little bikini box. There's a little turtle seashell on it. Have this, right? It's not my best work of art, I will say, but I did try it this year, and I think that like crafting and like doing things like that is just so rewarding and so much fun, and like you just get to make things like so whimsical and pretty. Okay, next I would say is grouting or mosaic. I gave this to my mom for Christmas. I will admit I only did this because it was an architecture project, But once again, I think it's so rewarding. You just literally, it's quite easy, I think, to learn. I will say, I cut my fingers twice cutting the glass for this. And it obviously does take a second to learn, but I do think it's something that you can really easily pick up. You get to be so creative with it and like make such beautiful pieces. Not to mention, this makes such great gifts. So I definitely recommend, sorry, this is getting heavy, so I'm trying to like talk quickly, but like mosaic, grouting, like I don't know what you would call it, but stuff like that, I think it's so much fun to do. You can do so much with it too. So yeah. Okay, so next element is a bit more basic, but I think it's so much fun, is pottery. Okay, so I had done like worked with clay and stuff like that before, obviously, from like my 3 years of art in middle school, but I finally went to like my first like pottery place where like you actually got to like, you know, work with like the spinning ball and make it. And I created these beautiful pieces. I have so many more lying around my room, but here's just some of my favorites. I also have this star one that I did. Once again, I just think these are so beautiful, and then you'd be so creative with this. Something that I think is relaxing, at least for me personally, I will say I don't like getting my hands super messy, but you just put a towel over your lap and you wipe your hands on it, and you're good to go. But yeah, I don't know, I absolutely love this one. It's so rewarding, so much fun, and you get to paint it afterwards. You don't have to. I have this one that I did not paint. I just left it plain and didn't even like, what's it called, fire it, or sorry, I don't know all the terms yet, guys. I'm so beginner level, but this is my first time ever doing it, and I loved it so much. I also real quick want to say I love that that's a hobby that you get to do with other people. Like I feel like that's when you very easily do like as a little like girls night out, you know, with your mom. I did it with my grandma. I think it's so much fun. You just like paint together and talk. Anywho, moving on to another basic one is journaling. But I also, once again, I think like journaling, like I took it way too seriously when I first started doing it. Like I feel like I was like forcing myself, like, you know, a lot. It doesn't have to be that way. Like this book is literally just filled with recipes that I found online. Like I have like the cosmic brownie recipe, Walmart sugar cookies, you know what's it, I think like Costco mac and cheese, yeah, is somewhere in here. Just like different recipes to try, which I think cooking goes with this, and like baking. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. I did not even think to mention that in this video when I was planning it out. That's such an amazing hobby. Once again, you actually get to eat like what you make. Or I have friends like love it and they'll bring me food to just know your friends appreciate when you're really into baking. Like, do some good for the people, guys. Think about the community, okay? Like, if you're a baker, please become friends with me. I have so many friends who love baking. They'll like bring me their cookies and I'm like, yes, I will absolutely try. Like, or like I have one friend who makes this amazing banana bread. I love her so much. But I definitely was the person who, like, before this year, I mean, I still do, but I've actually ventured out a little bit this year, and I would only bake from like boxes and bags. And there's nothing wrong with that. It means that it's going to taste good, first of all. Like I feel like it's very hard to mess it up. You still can, it's hard though. But I've tried like putting them together. Like I made like these cookie croissants where it's literally the pre-made croissants, but you cut them in half and you put cookie dough in between and you bake those for like about like 8 minutes, I think. And then, oh my gosh, it's like the perfect texture. Or I got the pre-made biscuits and you put like Baby Bell and you like wrap it around like half. So you put them all in half, so you have 16 of them. And then you wrap it and you have like melted butter and I think it's garlic powder or maybe it's Italian seasoning. I forget what you put on it. But it's so good. It's heavenly. Okay, it's like these cheesy bites. So, and I know that like Courtney, that's still from Box, but like they're so good. And it's like actually getting to like experiment with things I was really happy to do this year. And that has nothing to do with journaling, but like just like have like a little recipe book. I think those are really fun to make. And of course, this is my regular journal. This is where I can like, I'm totally a list person. I love making lists. Like I don't like to talk about my feelings. Like it's literally like, most of these are just like lists. Like before my birthday, I wrote down all my favorite, movies before like I turned the age that I was turning. So I was like, here we go, I'll tell you guys the list. It was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Anyone But You, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Peter Pan, Home Alone, Thunderbolt, Cinderella, How Does a Guide to Days, The Hunger Games Catching Fire, and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And then I also have like some architecture sketches in here that are really bad because I've been trying to like get better at it. Here's a decent one. I'll show you guys my little column that I did up here. Ignore that, just look at the beautiful column. But like, and I love that like journaling, you can really do anything with it. Like it's your journal, have fun. Then I have my list journal. This is like, I absolutely love this. It's like all the little advice that I get online, like for like the futures. Like I have like my apartment wish list, my kitchen wish list, my to-do list, like kind of like a bucket list type thing, like painting aprons with friends. It's like kitchen tips. I have a TBR wish list in here. I have like an everything shower routine. I have 3 ingredient face masks. I have beauty tips. I have financial tips. I have maid of honor and bridesmaid tips. Like, this is just like my book for the future. I have cleaning hacks, I have how to clean your hairbrush, like step by step. I have a hobby wish list, like of like things for my hobbies that I really want to get. It's like on here, I only have one thing, but it's the mini paint pad from Kmart. I don't know if we have a Kmart in America, but like it's like basically like this like watercolor thing where like they have like little squares and you just literally put water on the squares and you can paint and like bring it anywhere. It's awesome. I have a homemade face mask, again, for dark circles. I have watch list recommendations that I found online. Just like different things like I want to do in the future, like if I want to change my last name, like I have a how to do that, right? Like more of my research on it. So like just have like a little like research notebook about like different things that you really like, and I feel like that's so much fun to have. Anyway, so those are like some like an example of my journals. I also have like a travel journal, a reading journal, like 3 different anxiety journals, like different self-help type stuff, right? Positivity journal, like I have everything. Oh, I have a dream journal, but these are like the ones that like I are fully mine, like more already planned out, that I can do whatever I want with them, and I love that. Okay, next is oil pastels. I will say obviously this can be a bit more expensive. I will say none of what I listed before was exactly cheap. I mean, obviously dancing is free, but besides that, I don't know. But you can get like these little 48 packs. We also have a like 24 pack, I believe, of these beautiful oil pastels. I'm gonna pray that these don't fall out of here when I open them to show you guys. But like you can get these giant sets and you can do so much with them. They're so much fun to just play around with, and also I feel like they blend so much easier than just using like regular color pencils or other sets. So I'd recommend getting yourself some oil pastels. So much fun to work with. I will say obviously they can smudge really easily, so you gotta be a little more careful with them, but I absolutely love working with oil pastels. I feel like it's not something that people like really think about. Like, I mean, maybe if you're really into art, like I don't know, it's something that I definitely didn't think about for like a while, about like trying, and then I did, and I was like, this is amazing. I don't know if a lot of people count this as a hobby. I personally kind of think it is, but like Legos, just like, okay, I'm not only showing you guys one, but I have so many around my room. I have all the Lego flowers, but these ones I do understand are more expensive. You can also get them at Five Below. I know they sell the flower ones and like these other square ones, because whenever I'm babysitting, sometimes I'll get like little Lego sets for the kids that we can do together. And I obviously let the kids keep them, but I like buy those, and those are super fun to do while babysitting. I want to do another video of like all the different things you can do while babysitting, but anywho, Lego sets. I just got this one from Legoland. Live, love Legoland, y'all. That's my childhood right there. My brothers absolutely love going. That's little Suki car from Fast and Furious. I absolutely love the Fast and Furious movies, so this is perfect for me. I also have like Batman, Spider-Man. Like, there are just so much with Legos that you can like really show your interest off and use them as like bookshelf decor afterwards, or putting them around your room. Like, I think they're so much fun, and like just a great thing to do like while watching a movie. I cannot just sit still and watch a movie. Like, I love using movies as like background things. So like I'll do a coloring book while watching a movie, I'll do a Lego set while watching a movie, I'll work on my homework while watching a movie. Like, I am so productive while watching movies, like, because I cannot just sit still and watch a movie. So I love Lego sets. I don't know if they really count as a hobby, but like I think that they're just something really fun to do with your time. Okay, next, I honestly don't own stuff for this, but something about like I mean I own nail polish like that, but like just doing your nails, I will say I'm an architecture girly, so unfortunately doing my nails is not in my best interest, considering like just all like this, like I told you with grouting, like no, I use my finger for most of that. That's why I got myself twice doing it. So my mother better appreciate. I actually got her that for Christmas, and don't worry, she thought it was beautiful, because like she actually does like to put that stuff outside. Whoa, sorry, that was loud. But like she really likes that, so like obviously it's not in my interest, so I can't really show off. Like, my nails are plain, and I don't really do much with them because of architecture, and I have to like be very aware of that. I think you can still do architecture and like have pretty nails, but for me personally, I feel like a lot of work that we do in my class specifically, it's a little bit harder to, right? Like, it'd be so awful to have grout underneath my nails, and like, you know, it's not a sacrifice that I'm willing to make. There's people like, you know, like will do like full nail art and are so talented and get to be so creative with that, and it's amazing, and you can make a profit off that too. Next is another basic one, but coloring books. I feel like a lot of people don't think about this as they get older, but this is so relaxing and so fun. I was literally just doing this while watching Big Hero 6 the other day. I just got this one for Christmas. This is my first page that I did of it. I think it turned out really well. I will say I started doing the back page, and it's now bleeding through onto my other page, so I'm probably not gonna continue to do the back page. They're so fun. I just got this little 36 dual pack of markers. You can get like cheap little coloring books. I think you can get these with like Five Below, guys. Like Five Below sell these. I mean, I'm pretty sure even Dollar Tree has like some good coloring books that you can get, and just get yourself some markers. Like, I think that this is like a much cheaper hobby to do, and so it's really fun, really relaxing. I also have, this was a really popular one. I think you can get this off like Temu and stuff like that too. I don't know if there's anything bad that's come out about that. I didn't get this off Temu, I will say. I don't know if there's anything bad that's come out about that website yet. I'm just saying, like, I've seen like stuff like this, like, you know, I've heard people talk about like that, like on there. Obviously when Shein was popular, I don't think we use Shein anymore. I thought there's something, I don't keep up with that. I need to. I thought something bad came out about, like, I'm just saying, like, you can get these for cheap. This one I will say the pages are so thin, then like my stuff always bleeds through. But like I've done, not all of these, but like I've done a lot of pages throughout this book. As you can see, so I really enjoy this one. It's little cozy corners. This has like, there's a ton of collections of like these type ones. Are super cute. I like little animals. I had this for Easter last year and it's relaxing. I literally just turn on a Disney movie. These I got from TJ Maxx. I think there's like there's 36 of these. I forget how, oh, it was $14, $15 for 36. These are really good markers. So I'm saying you can get these at TJ Maxx for $15. Yeah. And just get yourself a coloring book, and I think that's really fun. Like, I literally before bed, so relaxing, would just turn on a Disney movie and do my coloring book. Like, it's amazing. Now, I don't know if you exactly call this junk journaling, bullet journaling, or what the hell I'm doing, but I have this little journal, and I just kind of like, it's basically junk, but like it's also a lot of my drawings. So I just get to be fully creative with this, and I put like, this is like my me core page. So I'll just look up like inspo on Pinterest. You know, for a lot of these, like I have a sticker page, which is just a collection of stickers. I have places I want to go to, which is just completely my drawings. But like this is just a good way for like me to map out my thoughts, but like through artwork, which I think was really fun. So I totally recommend it. I tried to like more of like a scrapbook type vibe, but you get to be so creative with this, and it sometimes turns out really beautiful. Like I found this one on Pinterest. It was how to trap me, and it's basically, I just did like a thing of all my favorite things. So like funky mugs, I have mac and cheese recipes, I have Chick-fil-A, free books, hugs, teddy bears, Spider-Man, Legos, drawing, like little Disney movies, like, and you just like totally like show off like yourself, I guess, on these pages, and I think that's so amazing. I have some other ones I think that have like, but I think they might be like tags from places that I shop at, so like that are in my locations. So I don't know if I can show these, but oh, I was saying, did this one, which was like to show my little architecture side. Oh, that's another hobby, is sketching. I was gonna show my other book for that, but I guess it's easier to show you guys this. Like, you can just like, I do architectural sketches, obviously, since that's what I'm interested in. But you can sketch literally anything. It's, once again, I feel like a much cheaper hobby. It's something that's really fun to do, and it can build your hand drawing skills. For me, being in architecture, that's really good for me. Obviously, depending on your career, it might not matter as much, but something that's really fun, really relaxing, and like gets your hand busy. But this is another page I did, so I tried to design like a little floor plan, and this is meant to be like, oh, and then I did like a little like snippet of what the inside of the cafe would look like. I called it Magnolia Bakery, since I mentioned it in the video I think that I did it in. But basically just a lot of my different projects throughout my years of architecture have always had something with like magnolia in it. Like I did a magnolia birdhouse, I did a, what was it? Oh my gosh, now I can't think of it. It was so pretty too. It will come back to me. But anyway, this is my Magnolia Bakery. So sketching, or whatever this is called, bullet journaling, junk journaling, I think is so much fun. So of course I saved best for last. That is my like absolute favorite hobby, reading. I feel like people don't understand like reading, like maybe not people, but there are like, I feel like it's like judgment, and now like in the book talk community, like reading is literally like, I feel like reading can be for everyone, though it may not be the same thing. Like I love reading comics, so I brought some comic recommendations for you guys as well. Like if you like comics, you're a reader. Graphic novels, reading. I have I'm going to show you guys, like I'm going to go through everything, but like literally any genre. Like reading can be so many things. I literally, if you like travel books, okay, like I have this book about Costa Rica because I really want to go there, with all my little tabs of all these places I want to go to, right? Like all these little coffee shops, things that my friends want to visit, right? Like you're still reading. I just got this yesterday. Like if you like learning about stuff, like there's so many astronomy, philosophy, like it's literally just an encyclopedia, like architecture books. Like my friend just the other day got a book about like human autonomy, and just like, oh my gosh, we should switch. And it's like, that's great, because I like but at the same time, like, oh, I get grossed out so easily because that's just not my style. But I did get like a little like architecture book. This has like 309 illustrations in it, and it has a ton of Gothic architecture. It's so beautiful. I've been talking about this for a while now. I love it. But anywho, like it can be literally anything. It does not have to be like novels, not to find audiobooks, ebooks. Like there's just such a it's so like wide, and like there's so many options, and I feel like it gets so like such a narrow view of it that's like shared online, not to mention book talk nowadays, I feel like has become so judgmental. And like, I don't want to be like completely hateful, but I don't know, I feel like everyone's like, oh, you're too young to read this, you're too old to read this, if you don't read this, you're yada yada yada, if you do read that, like, they're judging you for reading it. And I don't know, it's just become like such a judgmental place, and I do wish we could go back to like, you know, like, just let people read what they want to read. Like, obviously I understand you shouldn't be romanticizing certain things and stuff like that, or like sexualizing certain things, but like, I don't know, like, there's just like so many parts where, like, people can be so like, oh, if it's an audiobook, it doesn't count, if it's an ebook, it doesn't count, if it's comics, it doesn't count, like, and I don't know, it's become like so selective. And I do want to get more people into reading because I have such a passion, such a love for it. So I don't know, I kind of hate that, like, it's become this like judgmental place, I feel like, and it used to be. But anyway, I want to share all my book recommendations that are like, a recommendation for every single genre that I have at least read. I don't want to share ones for like books that I haven't read, you know, because I feel like I can't really speak as much on those. But for every genre that I've read, I have found a book in that genre to try to share, to hopefully inspire you guys. Like, if you aren't into reading, or maybe if you are and you're just looking for another book recommendation, I will say a lot of these are basic because I wanted ones that were widely loved and that it wasn't like just my opinion. Like, I could, like, you know, anyway, I'm just gonna get into it. So to start off, I chose two not so popular books that I think, like, one of them, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still in the middle of. One of them was the last book that I finished reading and I absolutely loved it. That I think, like, kind of like have changed my perspective on things a little bit, or like are kind of like written to do that, obviously, but also I think have such interesting concepts that I don't even really like know what I would even call the genre besides fiction. So first is I'm Not Jessica Chen by Anne Ling, I believe. I really want to read more of this author. I just finished this book. It is, I think, for people who like, okay, so the main character in this is kind of like, I would say, bit of an overachiever, but it's like she always like is trying to achieve and want these goals, but as soon as she does, it's like you need more, right? Like, it will never be enough for you, and like you're just asking so much of yourself, right? But basically, also kind of for people who feel invisible, I think this was such an interesting concept. So it's basically this girl who is in high school and has this perfect cousin, Jessica Chen, who is like got into Harvard, you know, just like the perfect prestige like student, just everything that she wants to be, that she feels like she can never live up to, and she feels like she's constantly compared to her and like supposed to live up to like this impossible standard of Jessica Chen. So she makes a wish one night to basically like be Jessica Chen, become her cousin, and the next morning she wakes up in her cousin's body, but people start forgetting who she is, and like I feel like she really like, it shows like that kind of like, I guess, learning to like be enough for yourself, and like that she is enough. Also, another little like subplot in this, there's like a little romance. So there's this guy Aaron who even recognizes her in her cousin's body, and like I think helps her to like realize just how amazing like she is, and like that she doesn't need to be someone else. So I think that like it definitely changed my worldview a little bit. I really enjoyed it. It's not too like heavy a book. I feel like it's quite an easy read. It was only like what, 200 something pages, I think. Oh no, it's like 310, but like still quite short. Easy book to get through. I think it was a really interesting concept, and I would definitely recommend it. Another one I think was an interesting concept, I'm still in the middle of this, so I can't fully speak on it, but it's Maybe Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is one of my favorite authors. I absolutely love her writing. But the concept for this is this girl, Hannah, I believe, yeah, who doesn't really know what to do with her life. She's, 29, and she's still just kind of lost in figuring it out. As I was saying, so basically, Maybe Another Life, so while she's in her hometown, her and her best friend go to this bar, and she sees an old ex-boyfriend, I believe, Ethan, and basically the book is split up with alternate chapters of two different lives that could follow based on like this one choice. So she has the choice to either, I mean, this is all in the back, so like I'm not spoiling, or like the majority of this is in the back. At first, actually, I thought that half the book was going to be one life and the other half was going to be the other life, and it wasn't, so that was kind of interesting. Like, you know, it wasn't what I was expecting. Basically, so she has the choice to either stay at the bar with Ethan or go home with her friend Gabby, right? And it goes through what her life would be like based on what choice she makes, and like it kind of shows like such a small choice could, like, you know, like what can happen. I just thought that was so interesting, so I started reading it. I'm yet to finish it. I will finally get around to it, but I think that if that's something you're interested in, I would recommend this book. Moving on, of course, to the classic genre of fantasy. I have a favorite book, but I'm kind of want to do all my favorite books together, so I can just like show all my favorite books at once and talk about those versus separately from just me separating books from different genres. but this is a great fantasy book. I think it's absolutely so magical. Like, the world in this book is so perfectly like put together, and I don't know, all the like, it doesn't have like an intense world building, I feel like, so it's not like, and world building's great, but there's some books where I feel like they, you know, like I can get a little bored easily, and like, you know, you have to kind of push yourself through that, and once you understand it, it's great. But this one I feel like did not waste time with that. Like, it gets straight to the point, and it is so whimsical, so magical, just such a beautiful book. Like, I absolutely adore this. Like, such a good fantasy. It's okay, this is also connected to the Caraval series, and a lot of people I think have a confusion, like, to read this you need to read those. You don't. I read them personally, but I have friends who have just read this series, and still you can understand it and absolutely love it without any of the Caraval background knowledge. This is also only about 3 books, so like, it's not like an extremely long series, not too much of a commitment. I think they're really good. It's about this girl, Evangeline Fox, who lives in, I think it's called the North, or like the Great North, but basically she makes a deal with the Prince of Hearts because this guy who's like her first love, like her sister kind of like, I've read of it, like what happened. Basically her sister is now going to marry like her first love or whatever, so she kind of makes a deal with the Prince of Hearts to stop the wedding, and because that she owes him like these 3 kisses or whatever, not to him but to other people, so he kind of wants to use that, like she has to like kiss other people for him. So he kind of like uses that to her advantage, so she will kind of like, I guess, like seduce the prince basically, and it's supposed to work out for both of them, where he can get like what he wants out of the prince and she can, like, you know, marry the prince or whatever, right? I think, if I can remember correctly, that's like best way to explain the plot, because I feel like it wasn't like, it was more vibes than plot in this book, like, I don't know, but that's basically like the understanding. I think the characters in this were so funny. I also like, I see a lot of like very strong, powerful like female main characters, and I love them, like Katniss Everdeen. Okay, you will always be so special to me, but I do like that this one was like a softer female main character. Like, it didn't show, like, it showed that you kind of didn't have to have that, right? So I would totally recommend this. It's Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. And then to be a reader, you don't have to only read novels. There are also graphic novels. If you're someone who loves art and stuff like that, read graphic novels. I picked these up this summer. I've already read all 5 of them, so I'm waiting for the next one. But it's basically the Teen Titans graphic novels. I will say the writer for this, I don't love a lot of the writing. I kind of struggled a little bit with it. It wasn't my favorite, but I think the art for these is so beautiful and so well done. These are the Teen Titans ones, so this is the reading order since I was confused on it. For anyone else confused, it's Raven, Beast Boy loves Raven, Robins, and then Starfire. Because I've seen people who, also these aren't comics, I've seen some people who will talk about like getting into comics and they'll accidentally buy these. These are not comics, these are graphic novels. Nothing wrong with that. They're still really good. I mean, okay, well, let me rephrase that. I think that it gets better over time. The first few, I will say, I was struggling, but these last 2, I think because they had the whole team together, was a lot more vulnerable. Like, this one I actually really love and like would reread this one. I love this graphic novel. I thought it was really good, really entertaining. Both in the art style for all these, I absolutely adore. I used to actually follow the artist on like Pinterest and like stuff like that, and like have a whole Pinterest board of his Teen Titans art, because I thought like he like depicted the characters so beautifully and like really just showed them as normal teenagers, like all hanging out, like living in apartments together and like going on little road trips, and it was so cute and I loved it. So I love these characters. Like through the TV shows that I watched of them, of course, but I do really want to read the Bat Family comics and stuff like that, and like Teen Titans. I'm kind of into X-Men right now, and I want to fully understand that world before I push myself into DC, right? Because I've never read anything but Marvel comics before. So yeah, I would definitely recommend these. I mean, once again, I think that they take a while. Like, if it was the first ones, I would not. What was it? This one I found, there's a lot of scenes I found really cringy. I thought the relationship in this was also super rushed. A lot of these relationships, in my opinion, are like very rushed. Like, there's no like building on it. I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. I don't love the writing. I think the artwork is great. I love the artist. The writing was not super for me. But in the more recent books, oh, this one's way bigger than I still have the bookmark in here, that's why. So I never put it away. But the art from these is absolutely beautiful, but I think the last 2 are definitely a lot better. And like, once again, you do get to see a lot more of the characters, whereas these ones, like Beast Boy and Raven, it only was them. It didn't have any of the other Teen Titans. You don't get to see them until later, which is okay. It's just obviously, like, once again, I'm here to see all of them, all like the found family, and just fall in love with them, right, all over again. So yeah, the point is, just little reminder, graphic novels exist too, if you know, reading regular novels is not your thing. And with that, comics. Okay, so a year ago I picked up my first ever comic, which is The Amazing Spider-Man. I think you can get this on Amazon. It's the original first 10, I want to say, issues by Stan Lee. I've also noticed, I will say, if you're getting into comics, whenever Stan comics would only get, they are much cheaper, I will give you this. If you want something cheap, not Five Below, oh my gosh, I did get this from Five Below. If you want a little comic, Five Below has stuff like this, which is like easy to read. I haven't read this one yet. I started it, I'm yet to finish it. I will say, I don't think it's as good as like my normal comics, but like, you know, if you're just looking for something cheap, Five Below has stuff like this, which is great. But also, Half Price Books, you can get a ton of individual issues at Half Price Books. I get all my issues from there. I've never bought individual issues anywhere else. I will say, obviously, you're not as guaranteed anything. And I will say, I much prefer, once when I first got into comics, I would only buy individual issues. So much easier when you get like the little booklets like this. You can use at Barnes & Nobles, you can get them off Amazon. Here's the thing though. These, here's a really thick one I have. This is Rise of Powers of X, I want to say. Yeah, and Fall of House of X, so it's quite thick. But these ones, I will say, I think are much better just because they have no ads in them. Like, if you flip through this, there's no ads. It has all the comics. You don't have to go searching for them individually like you would when you get individual issues. I think they're much easier. Thing is, though, this was $50 for all of this, right? I could get these individually. These was a 5-pack. It was $5 for 5 comics from Half Price Books. They sell individual comics there for $2 per issue. So super cheap. Much easier. Here's the thing though, is that these will have a lot more ads in them, and I struggle to like keep my focus with all the ads. So personally, I've come to love having like the little more compact ones. And also then they're all together, and when I'm traveling I like to bring them a lot to like places, obviously, to read. Like, I don't only read at my house, like I don't read them at school or anything like that. Like, I only read my novels at school. But like, you know, I bring them to hotels and stuff like that, or like water parks, like anywhere where I would normally read. I would like just bring a comic with my book, right, now that I'm more into comics. And I think those are much easier versus bringing a ton of individual issues, right? And they also don't break as easy. Like, I have to be more careful with my individual issues. But personally, I think comics are a great thing to get into. I just got into them at the beginning of this year. I got my first comic in Christmas of 2024. And I will say, the original Spider-Man comics, he's still my favorite superhero. But I will say, I thought he was kind of a pick-me. Like, in the original, like, he's just so like, no girl will ever want me because I'm a nerd. And just like, oh my gosh, get over yourself. Like, which I know I sound really annoying and like, you know, really like mean saying that, but I'm just, I don't know. Or like, there's so many times like people like be talking about, I was like, I wonder if they know Spider-Man, if like they'd like me. And I just like, if I could find it and show you guys. Like, I don't have the time right now because I've been talking for so long and my storage cannot handle this. But I don't know. These ones, I will say, this is a lot of people's first comic. I've seen a lot of people online who like, this is also what they're going to. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Like, that was my first comic too. So like, it's not a bad start at all. I just will say that like, these weren't as entertaining for me, and like, this didn't build my love for comics. X-Men did. I absolutely love X-Men. I like have like built so much on it. They have so many good ones. Obviously, like right now I just got Uncanny X-Men for Christmas. I'm obsessed. I freaking love Uncanny X-Men. It's like all my favorites in it too. So I just, it's beautiful. To be fair, I think to read Uncanny X-Men you would want like, okay, to be fair, I had more of like a background on it, so like even though I'm still like only been reading comics for a year, obviously I think I can still read it, but it's like if you have like more of a background on it, right? But I would not read Uncanny X-Men as like your first comic, because I think you want to have more of a background of the characters and the storyline, like the world. Like, start off with something that will give you a bit more of that, like maybe like House of X and Powers of X. Those two also, if you didn't know, you do need to read them together. Like, they intersect, like you can't read them separately. Some people may be confused on that as well. There's also X-Men Red, which is like chef's kiss. That has, though I will say that doesn't have all the X-Men. That's a lot more Magneto, Storm, and Sunspot, I believe. So, which great characters, by the way, just obviously, you know. So I think that if you were, I would absolutely, if you comic lovers, y'all, like, I'm telling you, these are so good. I will say though, I just got these for Christmas, so I haven't read the new ones yet, but I was like spoiling them on Comic Geeks, like reading like the little previews, and I really want to read issue 18, but I'm on the 5th issue. I just started. I will say that like the art style completely changed, and I kind of like, I don't know, like I loved, like, one second, I found like a good example. Like the art style in this is so, I love it. Like I don't know, it's so good. And then just I feel like completely switched over, and I don't know, this 5th comic is like, or maybe it's the 6th one. This is the 6th one, sorry. 6th comic is just not doing it for me. I don't know, I don't like whatever new art style is like going on. Like, I don't know, it feels like it's been like lobotomized. Like, but anyway, sorry, I need to like stop yapping so I can actually show my other books because there's so much more to get through. I mean, I'm gonna be quick about it, I swear. But basically, point is that I think that if you want to get into comics, Spider-Man, I mean, that's a great start for everyone. That's how I started, that's how many other people started. But X-Men is a personal favorite of mine. I would recommend, I think it's such like a good found family, such good characters. Obviously, there's so much of X-Men, and I feel like if you are going to get into comics, like a good place to start. That's where I've kind of like been keeping like that safe zone. A lot of other people, if you're more of a DC fan, I see a lot of people who are in that family. I really want to get into those, so if anyone has any recommendations, let me know, please. Like just where to start with that, and like, you know, how to go off with that, because I think the characters like sound so good. And obviously I grew up with like a lot of the DC TV shows like Young Justice and like Teen Titans Go, Teen Titans, stuff like that, so I'd love to see more of those characters like in actual comics now that I do like to read comics. But I'm just saying, like, if you're more of a DC fan, I think that obviously you can see more videos that would talk in more depth about this than I can, because I'm still obviously a beginner. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just reading, right? But yeah, these are personal like favorites of mine, and I just, oh, I love them. Anywho, the point is, reading is for literally everyone. You just need to find out what you like. Next, if you're someone who's more into like a mystery type book, I have 2 really good recommendations for you. So I read these from when I was like 13, I think, so I will say it's been a while, but I have One of Us is Lying. I will say there is a 2nd and 3rd book off of this. I read the 2nd one, did not like it. I would not recommend it, but that's just my personal preference. The 1st book I thought was really good though. It's basically these 5 students who go into detention and one of them dies, so the other 4 become suspects. I think it's also a TV show, so if you're interested in that, I think it's really good. Like, really good way to get into the genre too. Another classic, I see so many people who absolutely love this book. I think it's super fast and easy to read. This is a standalone. I mean, once again, there's other books with it, but like, you don't have, like, you could read this without those ones, is what I'm saying. Like, they're not, it's different characters, it's connected, but like it doesn't fit into the same storyline. So like, this is a standalone technically, but there are 2 other books that are connected to it that you could read if you so choose, but you can read it as a standalone. This one is a part of a 3-part series. I'm pretty sure you could also technically read this as a standalone, but I would recommend you read the whole series because the whole series is absolutely amazing. This 3rd book is my favorite in the series. I think it's so good. But it is a absolute, like, very popular book, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. So I always mix her and Holly Black up, and I knew it wasn't Holly Black. But I've actually convinced quite a few friends to read this, and they absolutely loved it. Once again, it's a really good little murder mystery. It's basically this girl, Pippa, who a few years ago there was this guy who was accused of killing his girlfriend, and as a part of, I forget if it was her history project, but there's like some project that she's working on for school, and she kind of like reopens the case and learns a few facts like the police missed. Anyway, so those are 2 really good mystery books about the genre that you're interested in. Another one I will say is romance genre, if that's something you really like. This is such a rom-com, like literally a rom-com in a book. It's better than the movies. Once again, by Lynn Painter, really popular. So like, I tried to choose more popular books. Like, you can find a lot more online, so I'm not the only one recommending it to you. Like, you know, like these books are very well loved. Like, it's not just me, like so widely loved. This is obviously better than the movies. It's really good. I have friends, like, this is their favorite book ever. This is their favorite author. She has a lot of other ones that are really similar to this that I need to read that are on my TBR. Like, I have The Do-Over, and oh my gosh, what's it called? Not This Is Better Than the Movies. It's, oh, Betting on You. So I had to like look at it. But basically, so like, she has a lot of other books. If you like this one, you can go off of more of those. And this, actually, there is a 2nd book to this, but they break up, so I'm not interested in reading it because I could not see them not being together. Like, that's impossible to me because they're just so perfect. But no, they're so cute. Like, literally, once again, just such a cute book. Like, I cannot get over how perfect this book is. But it's basically this girl, Liz, who had this old neighbor who moved away that she had a crush on, and he basically moves back, and she basically teams up with like her, I would say, like, childhood enemy, and there like starts a little romance between them. But basically it's sort of like a love triangle in a way, I guess you could say, with that. But it's like she teams up with her like high school enemy to kind of like, I guess, get this guy that she has a crush on. right? It's, once again, perfect rom-com vibes. Like, if you want a rom-com, but like a book that feels like a rom-com, this is it. And I have so many people who will back me up on that. Like, this book is just so cutesy. Once again, it's not my favorite book, but like, I did adore it. I loved reading it. I feel like it is like an easy read. Now, obviously, fiction is not for everyone. Some people prefer nonfiction, so I have some nonfiction books that I'm also going to recommend. Okay, more inclusive here, because once again, reading is for everyone. Like, literally, I know it doesn't seem like it, but like, you can generally always find something that you like typically. So first, I have memoirs. I've only owned about 2 memoirs. I have I'm Glad My Mom Died, which I started that. I kind of DNF'd it, but I want to like, I mean, okay, I didn't DNF it, but I just kind of forgot about it like years ago. And I don't like count it as like I'm still reading, because I haven't read it in a while, whereas the books I say I'm still reading is because I've like read a few pages here and then within the years that I've been reading it, right? So that one I do need to pick back up. That's a memoir that I've at least read like 100 pages of or so back in freshman year. But this one is Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. I will admit I'm still reading it. I'm like halfway through. So, but this is the only memoir that I've, you know, like besides the other one that like I've actually read a good amount of. This is really cute. I would recommend this. I know it's heavily recommended for women in their 20s who are still kind of like figuring things out, and like tell them like it's okay to still be figuring things out. It talks a lot more about like female friendships and like just kind of like walks through her life. And there's like little different chapters. So it's like Everything I Knew About Love about at 21. There's also a ton of recipes in here. So we've got the club sandwich. There's like hungover mac and cheese, and there's like a cake recipe that I tabbed at the back. I can find it, because I tabbed all the recipes, so I was like, I want this. Like, yeah, meltdown birthday cakes. Like, it's so like well put together, I think, and well thought out. Such a cute book. Like, I obviously haven't finished it, so I can't put together all my thoughts on it, but it is a memoir that I would definitely recommend from what I've read so far. Staying in the nonfiction genre, I know this is what you typically think about with travel books. Me and my friends have been talking about going to Costa Rica since like 8th grade, maybe freshman year. And like, it's just a dream of ours. So I have all my little tabs in here. I even have at the front of the book like my little like tab cards, so I can still go through here, tab new things. There's a map in this. If you do want to read travel books, like once again, my mom's more into them, so she got this for me actually, because she knew I wanted to go to Costa Rica. This one was in 2024, so it's a bit newer. I'd recommend those, so the stuff in the book is still more relevant versus stuff that was obviously made 20 years ago, right? So this one will be a little more helpful in my opinion. But these can teach you so much. It also make you way more excited if like you are planning a trip to go there. Like, I don't know, I feel like people don't consider or think about these a lot, but this is generally like showing me so many like little coffee shops and like things that I want to do in Costa Rica that I wouldn't have thought about before. So if it's something you're interested in, I would definitely recommend. They can also, you can find a lot of these at like resale shops or thrift stores. Little like used bookstores have so many of these. I would recommend getting one. Okay, another nonfiction book. Our books are just like generally informational. I just got this yesterday. I've talked before about how much I love architecture and how I'm studying it. So this has literally 309 illustrations in it. It's a ton of like Gothic and English architecture. It has a ton of cathedrals. It's so pretty and information about them. So obviously I still need to actually read it. But I'd say get books about what you're interested in. Like, I feel like, I don't know, on BookTok a lot of people like, it's so like stuck in like fiction, and fiction's amazing. My whole bookshelf is fiction, okay? But like, I do like want to read more of like just more informational books. Like, I've been really interested in, I love the show The Good Place, so I've been wanting to read a lot more philosophy, and astronomy sounds so interesting to me. I have friends who love to read books about like nature and like just the human body. So like, just finding books in your interest, even if like they aren't fiction, is okay. And I feel like, I don't know, like I see so many books that just go to waste, and like these are such good books. Like, I'd love to read more about just like my general interest versus staying strictly in fiction and like restricting myself to that, right? And like, I'm not saying that everyone does, like I'm not like, you know, because I definitely did for a while. I'm just saying, like, I feel like I'm finally like opening my eyes up to like, I can read literally anything. Like, you know, that's so amazing. Like, you can learn so much. So I'm just saying, like, people I feel like can tend to forget that. So like, even if you're not interested in fiction, like there are so many books out there that like you can still enjoy. So yeah, this is one that I'm starting with, that I'm super excited to read in 2026. Once again, just a little English architecture, and you can find a lot of these again. Like, Half Price Books has literally like whole sections just for art, architecture, like, you know, stuff like that. So I recommend like going to like those. You can get them for super cheap too. I think it's like $5 just for this. Like, it's amazing. But finally, saving best for last, once again, I'm going to end the video with my favorite books of all time. Just books I generally like think everyone should read, and like these are just like have such a special place in my heart. So I will say, This, I normally always separate my books by like top 3. This is not one of my top 3, but it is the book that got me into reading. So if you're interested in getting into reading, I recommend The Hunger Games by Susan Collins. This is what I would call a modern day classic. Everyone and their mother I know has read this book. If you haven't, absolutely I would recommend it. It's, once again, it's not a super long book. When I first read it, it was the first book that got me into reading, so it took me about 3 weeks to read, which at the time was amazing since I'd never read before. I think it's like pretty fast-paced, super interesting world. Listen, there's movies for this, so my conviction, like what convinced me to read the book was because I wanted to watch the movie so badly. I told myself, okay, I made a deal with my mom too, like, hey, if I read the book, can I watch the movie? So that's the deal we made. And 5 years later, or I think it's been 5 years, yeah, I'm in love with reading, and I have such a passion for it and such a love for it. Not to mention, this is a 3-book series, like, you know, it will keep you busy for a little while to get into reading. And also, it means it's quite short because it's only 3 books, but she's still building on it. So if you want to read, like, Sunrise on the Reaping I just read this year, and I thought it was really good. It also just came out this year. So I'm just saying, anyone who wants to get into reading, this is the book that did it for me. I've seen this do it for a lot of other people. I'd personally recommend this so much. Obviously, I get that there's like a, you know, I guess peak age you could say to read this, but it's also just for everyone and a great like dystopian book. But finally, my top 3 books. So my top 3 books are right here. You can see them. I'm not gonna like hide them or anything. But starting off strong. So technically the other 2 are part of a series, and I just love the whole series. So whenever someone does ask me my favorite book, I just say this one, and it is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I talk about this one all the time. I think that this is such a beautifully written book. It's such like, I don't know, it's just, okay, so basically it's a historical fiction, which I know that may not be everyone's go-to genre, but I'm telling you, this one is so good. It's historical fiction on Elizabeth Taylor, and basically it's this, well, okay, so it starts off in the POV of this like sort of, I guess you could say, like writer who does like articles for this company, who is hired by Evelyn Hugo to write a book about Evelyn Hugo's life. And then after that, it switches into the POV of Evelyn Hugo basically telling her life story to this journalist, and it switches a little bit back and forth between their POVs, but stays mostly explain the life of Evelyn Hugo. And this whole book goes throughout her entire life. Each husband, you can see, where is it? Oh, it's also really cool. I kind of forgot about this. They have like little like, you know, obviously most of it's like book, but they have like these little like page cutouts that are like, I guess, magazines or like articles about her during the book, since she's a Hollywood actress. I'm trying to see if I can find it. And the book is split up into different parts between her 7 husbands. So it has like a little word that describes him. Harry has 3 words. He's my favorite. He's awesome. You'll love him too if you read it. But it's kind of split up into like the 7 parts of her 7 husbands. And this book made me absolutely bawl my eyes out. I think this book made me cry more than any of the other books. And it's not because like there was like a big thing that like, because I would argue like this one I cried more in the moment, but this one just like I'd be crying and I'd finally recover, and then it just hit me again and I was sobbing my eyes out, and I'm still crying, but when I can finally see through my tears, it just hits you again and again, and it happens like 5 more times, and you are destroyed by the end of this book. But at the same time, as devastating as this book is, the ending gives you so much closure and wraps things up so perfectly and so beautifully that I just love it so much. Not to mention, characters make some like questionable decisions, but like it really helps you to like understand it, I guess, and like at their POV, even though you may like disagree with them, right? I also like that the characters in this book weren't perfect. I feel like there's a lot of books where characters are meant to like have no flaws, and these ones, it definitely shows their flaws, and I really like that they were a lot more realistic, right, compared to a lot of the YA books that I obviously read. So this is my all-time favorite book. I recommend this to everyone, and I'm telling you, you should go read it. Okay, so next, obviously that book is a hard act to follow, but I have the Shatter Maze series. So this is obviously a very popular series online. You will hear almost everyone and everybody talk about this book because it is so amazing. I do understand for people who are like questioning about reading it. It is 6 books with novellas, which makes it technically like 11 books. So it does seem like a lot, but I'm telling you, these books, they look like a lot, and obviously the series is long, I agree, but it's going to feel so short by the time you're done with it. Like, these books are so fast-paced, and you just fly through them. I generally think that if like you had a break and like you're just spending all day reading, you could get done with these in a week, if not faster than that. They're so good, so well written. I actually love the writing style for these because I will say the first 3 books are only in Juliet's POV, but after that it switches to other people's POV. But while you're in her POV, I'm going to see if I can find I forgot I highlighted this when I was 13, but where am I? Oh, it has, okay, that looks like I just did that though, like, but basically the main character, you're like so in her head that even things that, like, she regrets saying, it will like cross it out, and that's like intentional by the author. There's even, sorry, there's a lot more on the front page, and it's like it does it repeatedly throughout the book. There's like these lines that are crossed out or have like, you know, like words that are like falling off the page, like literally. And I just think the writing style is so interesting for this book, and that's what really hooked me with it. Not to mention, I think the world building, it's a dystopian, and the characters, I absolutely love these characters more than anything. I think they're so beautifully written. I think the dialogue in this book is absolutely hilarious, and I recommend this to absolutely everyone. I've convinced some friends to read it who now love it, and thanks to me, guys. But it's so good. It's definitely one of those books I think is popular for a reason. If you don't know what it's about, it's this girl, Juliet Ferris, who in a dystopian world is basically, I guess, okay, well, how do I explain this? She has the power to kill anyone that she touches, basically, and there's the reestablishment, which is like the government wants to use her as like a weapon. That's my best way to explain it. Obviously, the plot develops more than that, and there's so many just plot twists and turns throughout these books. It's so interesting, and it really does keep you hooked. There's also, obviously, because 6 books is not nearly enough, a spin-off series of 10 years later where there's a kid in these books named James, and it's basically like his whole story like years later, and you get to see all your favorite characters again, and it's just so amazing. And finally, to end this video off on a high note, I have my very last book of the night. This is Clockwork Princess. It's the 3rd book in the Infernal Devices series. I read this series when I was about 13, and I will say I do think I read it at the perfect time, but I think that this is such an amazing book. The epilogue had me absolutely sobbing. The characters in here are so perfect. Like, you actually do, like, so this is a 3-book series, but I will say it's in the world of shadow hunters, which is basically these people who hunt demons. So like it's kind of like, you know, like in Percy Jackson, how like they're still in the real world, but like only certain people can see like certain like creatures if you are like a demigod and stuff like that. It's kind of like that with shadow hunters, where like it's in the real world, but like only they can see like the demons and fight the demons and stuff like that, if that makes sense. But it follows this girl, Tessa Gray. It's also based in the 19th century, I want to say, so like 1800s. Follows a girl named Tessa Gray, who basically gets like kidnapped by these people and finds out that she can like shapeshift, which is really cool. And then she gets saved by like the shadow hunters. And it's a 3-book series. It also has a love triangle, but like it's kind of, okay, it has like the love triangle, like they both kind of win, but like it's not like Polly or Why Choose. So like it's really interesting how it all works out. But I absolutely love the epilogue. Had me sobbing. This last book is so beautiful. These are like my comfort characters, like, and it's so like weird because in the first books they all kind of like hate each other, but you really get to watch like these friendships and relationships develop throughout these 3 books. I will say they look a little longer, but if you see her other books, because before this I read The Mortal Instruments by her, because they're all in an interconnected universe. So if you know you like these, you can go off to read her other books. So these are like, I think, the oldest ones, where there's a spin-off series of their kids, which is her newest series, and there's a spin-off series generations later called The Mortal, well, that one's actually the first one. This is a spin-off series of that, but there's The Mortal Instruments, which follows Clary Fairchild, I believe is how you say her name, and Jace Herondale, who's like an ancestor from Will Herondale in these books. I also read those first. I didn't like those as much as I like these, but those ones are still a good read if like you're still getting into reading. That's like one of the 3rd series I think I read when I was becoming a reader. She also has the Dark Artifices, but I didn't like those. I kind of like quit those, and that's why I stopped reading her so much. But this series right here, I'm telling you, is like one of my favorite series of all time. I will say I fear I read it at like the perfect age. I'm kind of scared to reread it, but I think like the time period that it's in fits it so perfectly. The magical world that she puts in here is so beautiful. These characters mean so much to me. I love them with my whole heart, and like I'm not even joking when I say I was like fully like shaking putting this book back on my shelf, because I mean, one, the epilogue is like devastating, like absolutely devastating. Had me crying and thinking, it like put me in a huge reading slump. Well, actually no, that's wrong. I read a book in one day after that, but like you know, after that I don't know if I read for a while, and I only think I read that book just because I was on such like a reading high and I didn't even enjoy it. That's not the point. But also I was so sad the series is over that like I was just literally like what do I do with my life now? Like that night, I think I just literally sat there, like, you know, like it's just had such a big impact on me when I was younger. So I absolutely adore these books. I understand like they are kind of YA and like meant for like a bit of a younger audience, I would say, but they are so good. I actually like, I really want to read them, just I can't bring myself to because I have so many other books I want to read. Like there's just so little time, you know, like life is too short. But these books mean so much to me, is all I can say. Okay, I apologize, that was a long video, but I appreciate everyone who stayed with me till the end. I really hope that I was able to give people some hobby ideas. I'm sorry I didn't talk about all the hobbies I want to do in 2026. I'll probably talk about them in one of my vlogs. You guys will see me doing them. I just don't want to take up too much of y'all's time, and I fear this video was a bit longer than it was planned because I yapped way too much. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope everyone has a great rest of their week, a great night, and a great 2026. It's kind of insane to be saying that, but I think, yeah, I literally have 30 minutes, well, like 35 minutes, but we're just gonna say 30, until it's officially 2026. So wishing everyone a happy new year, and I hope that inspired you guys to try some new hobbies in this new year.